What's you guys? Warm welcome to Country Vanlife TV. How are we all doing? Thanks for pressing the button. Take your time in your day to come and watch me ramble on as usual. How are we all doing? We all good? Nice to have you on board. I'm back on track now. You know I've had some issues, to say the bloody least. In the last 4 days since I've been back from on holiday and all the issues with the van blowing up and everything, I've been in a bit of a I've done a bit of a back step really in the way I feel. But I've got to lift myself. I've felt a bit down the last 4 days and I've got to lift myself back up again. I mean, when I first took on this project 2 months ago, was it, when we bought the van, I've been on a high. You know, I suffer with depression and everything, guys, and I've been on a high. I've been really happy, really motivated to do things, but since this episode recently, it's put me on the back foot a little bit, and the last 4 days I've just been feeling sorry for myself. But you can't do that, can you? You can't feel sorry for yourself. So I'll give myself a kick up the arse, and I've got myself rolling again, rocking and rolling, try and get my mojo going again, and start working on the van again. As we know, the van's working fine now, guys. Hopefully that's the last of our issues, but you never know, do you? So I've got to crack on working for another 3 months. I've got to cancel my van life. All my plans have got to be cancelled for another 3 months, so it probably won't be till the spring now, after Christmas. That'll be going full-time van life, giving up my little flat there. It's only a rented place, guys, so I'll be giving all that up. Going full-time in Christine, in our little Talbot Express 660 Pilote. So it's got to be delayed, which is a pain in the arse, I know. But hey ho, what can you do? Anyway, we're rocking on doing some more jobs. Now there's quite a few jobs I've still got to do on the van, as you know, guys, those that are following me. But there's one or two things that you always pick up. I don't think you ever finish titivating. I nearly said tits then, I just did. Titivating. You never stop titivating and adjusting and mending and fixing. You know, it's an old piece of kit at the end of the day. It's 27, 26 years old. So you're always going to be working on it. You're always going to be modifying it. There's always going to be something you want. It's all about want and need, isn't it, guys? Do you need it? Or do you want it? It's all about want and need. I think you've got to err towards need more than anything, guys, instead of want. There's lots of things I want for this van, there really is. So it's a never-ending cycle, I think, you know, titivating about with your vehicle. Anyway, I noticed the other day, I've just had my low battery come up. We don't want to do that, get that off the screen. I noticed the other day when it was piddling down the rain for the first time when I was driving, that I had a drip on my knee. I thought, what the hell? I wasn't crying. There was a drip on my knee. And I looked up above my window, just where the top sill is, up here, guys. I'll show you in a second. And because everything's all this is carpeted, you see, all the metalwork's carpeted. Around the top of the windscreen here, just where the rear view mirror is, it was soaking wet. It was dripping out, and all the carpet all along was soaking wet. Now, a few weeks ago, I noticed a damp patch on the carpet in the footwell of the front door, and I thought, where the hell has that come from? And I couldn't work out where it was coming from, whether it's a door seal or the window, or coming in from the window sills or the handles. I couldn't work out where that came from. It was only a slight damp patch, but it came from somewhere. I realise now it's come from up there. What it's doing, the seal on the windscreen, you know, they tend to go on these older vehicles, these seals, you know, they don't last forever, do they? And it's a bit of a problem with the Talbots as well, the Talbot Express, where the actual frame, where the seal goes to on the actual body itself, rots away. It hasn't rotted away on mine. This cab on this is bloody solid, guys. I tell you, there's not hardly a touch of rust anywhere. It's in mint condition for a 27-year-old. And I realised with that footwell getting wet, that it was coming from up here, when I realised it was wet up there. So the seal's gone, or it's coming away from the windscreen, so I need to sort that out. It's fine when it's dry, it's fine when it's a bit of a drizzle, but when it pours down, that little well up there fills up, it's coming down the side, down the post, and onto the footwell of the door. So I need to sort that out, but it's going to rot eventually and mess up the electrics one way or another. So I'm going to reseal it. Now, obviously the proper way to do it is take the windscreen out and put a new seal in, but that's a specialist job for a windscreen fitter. Can't do that, can't afford that, so I ain't going to do that. We're going to do a bit of a botch, but hopefully it'll be a permanent botch and something that I can touch up should it go again. But hopefully this fix will fix it. I've been looking around on for different types of sealants, and I've come up with one sealant which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to explain exactly what I'm going to do to the seal around the windscreen to stop this leak, guys. First of all, I'm going to get a little bit of a wedge behind the seal so I can get behind it and get some of these emery cloth sandpapers or wet and dry. Give it all a good rub, because it's down at the top. The sides are fine. It's not going to leak from the sides anyway. It's coming in at the top, around the top edge of the seal. So I'm going to give that a good rub down, get a wedge behind it, give it a good rub down, get all that, if there's any little bits, because obviously there's little pit holes where this water's coming through, or it might be just the seal perishing underneath. So I'll give that a bit of a rub just so I can get my silicone to take a little bit better. So we'll give it a good rub down with that to start off with. Once I've rubbed it down, I will give it a blast through with a compressed air. That's a compressed air tin, guys, nice and cheap, really handy for cleaning up your electrics and everything. So I'll give it a blast with that, get all the bits out of there and everything, guys, get it all nice and spotless, ready to take the silicone that I'm going to use. Then I'm going to wash it through with a nice damp cloth, get some spirit in there, get it nice and clean, nice prime surface to work through. If there is any rust in there, I will treat that, but there isn't. I can't see any rust at all. It's the seal that's going, I think, because they do perish. They go a little bit brittle, don't they? So you got to be careful. And then once I've done that, got it all nice and spotless and prepared and ready and nice and dry, let it dry out in the sun. I'll wait for a sunny day to do this. It's a nice day today, so I'm going to do it today. I'm going to put some of this stuff on it. Now I'm not sure how this is going to work. Just trial and error, guys, with everything I do. I'm not telling you how to do things, I'm just showing you the way that I do it. I'm going to put some of this. Now this is a silicone seal. It's also a bond as well. See that, guys? There we go. That's what it's called. It comes with an adapter. I've got 3 or 4 of these. So it's only £3 each, guys, on eBay. Granville clear silicone sealant. Now I could have got black or I could have got white, but I don't want colour, guys. Don't want to miss about trimming off colours. This is clear, so hopefully it won't give me no issues there. It bonds. It gets sticky within 10 minutes, and it bonds within around about 2 hours, I believe. So we're going to crack on and get this little job done. It's another little job. There's going to be hundreds of little jobs like this, guys. This is a new one. I didn't know I had this issue, but it'd be nice to seal that windscreen anyway. Lovely jubbly. So I'll take you outside. I'll give you a show of the sill where this water's coming from first, guys. I'll just spin you around. Right, here we are inside. Let's go up here. There we go. That's the top of the... Oh, the light's pretty bad, guys. Sorry about that. That's the top of the window sill there. This is where all the water is gathering here, in this well. And this carpet here, that light is bloody awful. Can I do anything? That's better. This carpet here, and there's a ledge here, and this was soaking all the way along the top of the window here. So obviously that water is running through, coming down the post there, dripping down the post, and going to my carpet down there on the floor. So that was the issue, guys. The water's gathering in here from the windowsill. Right, that's inside the cab, guys. Right, guys, here we go. Bloody sun's come out now, it's bleeding boiling. I'm wrapped up like a pickled onion. I've just come back off a bike ride. Right, let's crack on with this, shall we? First of all, I'm going to go around with this very fine emery kind of lollipop. I'm going to wedge that behind the seal and give it a good rub across there, guys. Actually, I'll just show you first of all. Right, looking at the top of the windscreen now. That's my new my bar lamp, lovely jubbly. Really impressed with that. Right, down the side here, guys, it's all nice and tough, nice and sealed. You're very rarely going to leak down here, but it's this top bit here. Just try and give you a zoom in there if I can. It's come away slightly. There's a little bit of a pit in there. Can you see that all the way along the top of that seal? There's a little bit of a pit in there, especially up there. Try and lean over a bit more if I can. Especially there, it looks a bit iffy done at the top of that seal, so all that's going to be rubbed, bit of rusting up there as well. So we're going to give that a good bloody clean. You can see by the bubbling, see where it's bubbling, the seal's bubbling slightly. Hopefully we'll sort that out as well. Right, put the camera back, guys, bear with me. Right, there you go. So you saw the state of that. It weren't bad. A lot of those, they rust away to the bone. They really do. But the body on this cab is quite good actually. So I was a little bit lucky with that. Perhaps not lucky with the engine, but hey ho. But there's been one or two issues with it, but you'll always get issues, won't you? Anyway, let's crack on. Let's give this a rub down. I'm going to take my shoes off. I'm going to climb on the bonnet there. I've got a chair to the left there. I'm going to climb on the bonnet without my shoes on. Get up there, give it a good old rub down with this. Get all that crap out of there and probably see the state that it's in a bit more clearly. Might time lapse this as well. Right, that's the best I can do with that. It's a little bit brittle, the seal, so I don't want to mess about with it too much, guys. Last thing I want to do is crack that or break the actual seal itself. But I'll give it a good sandpaper down. There's lots of rubbish behind there, so we're going to give it a good old blowout now with the compressed air. That should get rid of just about everything that's left in there, guys. Can't highly recommend this compressed air, guys, for cleaning up switches, whatever. You know, all your switches get a bit dodgy on these old pieces of kit. Right, I'm going to try and go down it now, give it a blast with this, if I can balance. It's a bit of a balancing act. I need a plank really and a proper workshop, but I ain't got that. Right, give it a go with this. I need a little tool to prise it back. Blimey, it's a bit of a balancing act on there. My socks are a bit slippery. But I don't know whether you saw that. Loads of bits came out, guys. Compressed air is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, guys, for cleaning all your switches, all your relays, etc, etc. Highly recommend you get some of that, guys. Find where me do that in a minute. Get that out the sun, it's a bit warm. So that's that cleaned up now. What I'm going to do now is go through with some spirits, give it a good wipe down, and we'll get some application on there, guys. Oh, blimey. Oh, you can see the muck I got out of that, guys. That's all come from behind the seal. So that's nice and clean now. I'll just give that 10 minutes or so to dry. We'll crack on and we'll get this stuff on it, guys. Back at you in a minute. Right. Got myself a drink. It's bloody warm. Apparently it's going to be about 24 degrees tomorrow. Nice to do a wild camp for one night, but I'm working. Right, I work to pay this bloody debt off. Right, we're going to get some of this on, guys. There we go. I'll show you that in the intro. Get this out. It's just applying it, and I'll get some behind the seal to start with. Got a little adapter there that we need to cut the top off that, so I need to get some pliers and just cut the end off there, guys. Back at you in a second. Right, we've snipped off the end there. It's got a nice point on it, guys. I probably only need one of these. I've got three. The reason I bought three is to keep just in case, because all the windows are sealed like this throughout the van. This is the only one that's leaking at the moment, but some for future use as well. So it was only £3 a tube, I think. and it's not only a sealant but it's an adhesive as well, and it's quite runny as well. Now the reason it's quite runny, they've made it deliberately like that so it drops into all those little pores and little holes and little gaps and crevices and seals up. So it takes about 5 minutes to go tacky, about 3 hours to dry. I hope that wind's not too much. Right, I'm going to take my socks off this time because it might help me grip on that bonnet a bit better, because you don't want a video where I'm going to head arse over it, do you? Probably get a few views though, wouldn't it? Right, take my socks off and let's get up there and get this sealant in. What I'm going to do is pull back the rubber seal, pour this inside all the way along, just let that go off for 10 minutes. Once that's gone off, tacky, I'm going to run a bead of this all the way across the top, so you've got sealed inside, let that go off a little bit, and then I'm going to run a bead all the way along the top of the window frame there, just as a belt and braces. Right, let's crack on, eh? Oh, that's better. Got a lot better grip now. There we go. I've time-lapsed that a little bit. Oh, bloody hell. Took longer than I thought. Got rid more of a whole tube. About half a tube there left, I think. A quarter of a tube left. Right, as you've seen, I went all inside the seal. Went all the way down once. It's a bit back-breaking up there doing that. With no equipment or scaffold or nothing. But I went down the back of the seal, put a layer all the way across and down the edges a little bit. When I'd done that, I put another run all the way through, just filled it up with sealant right to the top, so it's bulging out the top of the seal. So that's 2 layers in there, and I've just run my finger across the top just to give it a nice finish. And though you can't see it because it's clear anyway, I'll leave that for 10-15 minutes to go off. Then I'm going to go across with another nice, just a straightforward bead all the way across. And hopefully that'll do the job. Look at the bloody apples on that tree over there. Blimey. Apple crumble. Apple crumble for dinner. Caramelised apples, sugar syrup, maple syrup, ice cream. Toffee apples. I haven't done toffee apples for a long time. Make some toffee apples when I'm in the van. I'm going to nick a few of those. Lovely. Millions on there. Right, so I'll come back to you in about 15-20 minutes. Right, back at you guys. Been about 20 minutes. Probably only needed about 10 in this sun. It dries quite quickly, so that should be nice and tacky now. Ready to lay another layer on top. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that down even further because I want a thicker layer coming out of this now for that final layer. Cut that so we've got a nice wide top on there. I'll run a bead of this all the way along the top and I'll go across this, so you know where you've got the seal like that against the window, I'll go like this against the frame, so there's a nice bevel from the body over the seal, so rain can run off, so we'll have a nice bevel. That's just one of my cards. Right, let's get my shoes off. Let's get back up there, do the final part.
Damned if I don't. It's human nature to want what we ain't got. So to hell with you. Feeling blue. It's not such a crying shame. Life's like a boomerang. Come back around.
Right, I'll just put the camera up there so you can see what I've done before I do that finishing trim. Right, I hope you can see. Do you see? Do you see all along there? I've done that. I hope you could see that beading, guys, that I've done all the way across. Now I'm just going to run and put that bevel edge on now from the body to the sill, to the seal. So when the rain hits the body, it runs off the seal, over the top of the sill, down the window. We should have no issues, hopefully. So I'll just trim that off now and I'll show you the final product. Oh, there we go. It's another little job done. So that will set in about 15 minutes and it'll be fully dry in about 4 or 5 hours. And hopefully that should cure it. We need to wait for a good old storm, a good old rainfall to thoroughly test it, see whether my fix is done and sorted. But let's just have a look at the final job. Right, back on top of the van. You can see now that seal is all the way along there. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but hopefully it'll do the job. It gets a bit lumpy if it goes off in about 10 minutes, so you have to be pretty quick, guys, otherwise it gets a little bit lumpy. But hopefully that should cure my leaking windscreen. Lovely jubbly. I've also got some new wheel hubs, hubcaps. Sorry about that wind, guys. Just give you another look at the van, guys. That's my new wheels. Like those. Black silver nuts and a red trim. Just a little highlight of red to go with the red of the Talbot logo. Oh blimey, I'm all bloody hot and bothered now. That's another job done anyway. Lovely job, Lee. We're back in the groove. We're back doing jobs. I've just received a new ignition switch. I'm going to fit that as well in the next few days. I've also got a battery-to-battery sensor, so that's got to be fitted as well for the leisure that came. The leisure system that was with the van, not my 2 systems that I've built on the back. Those are perfect. They're running at 4.2 at the moment with the solar power. Beautiful, absolutely perfect systems. You know, guys, I've got 3 power systems on this unit. It's just the front one that came with the van. I've got new batteries in there. I've got 2 120 amp hour batteries running off the alternator charging, but the alternator charging wiring is not very good at all, so I'm going to put a new battery to battery sensor on there. So that's coming in the next couple of days as well. This right hand indicator intermittent, so I've still got to sort that out, and this right hand headlamp is still intermittent, so I think there's brighter lamps you can get, not the standard ones that come with these. I think there's a brighter one, Anybody who knows about them, all the links, put it in comments down below, guys, for the Talbot Express. I mean, I've got my bar lamp up there, which is brilliant. I love that. Actually, I thought it was that was leaking, but it isn't. Nothing to do with that, guys. That's bone dry. It's all been sealed properly, so that's perfect. I've got my headlamp up there. I might get some extra fog lamps on here, but the headlamps as they are, they're not very bright. They're not very good in dark country lanes. I don't want that on all the time because that's way too bright. That's just out for in the wilds and off the road. But I think those brighter headlamps will sort it. Anybody knows, put it down below. Any ideas or suggestions? If you've done a seal kit like this, if you've done windows and sealed yours, let me know and get on. It's only time that will tell whether that's sorted, guys. Until the next video, which will be very soon, guys. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to give me a like. All important, those thumbs up. Get this channel rocking out there. Give it a good share to all your friends. Give me a subscribe if you wish to become a patron. All the links are down below. It's only three notes a month, which is nice. Goes towards the fuel fund for my adventures and all the maintenance on this, so I can bring you videos from all over the country. Because I will be full time. It'll be my full-time occupation being a vlogger once I get out van life in. I've been vlogging for 5 years. Got a couple of channels, but this is my main one now. Country Vanlife TV. I'm rambling. Get off the screen, Steve. Till next time, guys. Ta-da.